You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Wise men bank with UBA.
Wise women too with UBA.
School pupils in Sierra Leone, do you have a creative writing skills? Would you love to win a brand new laptop and a scholarship grant worth up to 50,000 new leones? Then, this is your moment. The UBA Foundation, with support from UBA Sierra Leone, in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education, is proudly launching the 5th edition of the 2025-2026 UBA National Essay Competition, as the UBA Sierra Leone has teamed up with the Institute for Legal Research and Advocacy for Justice, ILRAJ, to make it bigger and better. Are you a senior secondary school pupil anywhere in Sierra Leone? Then get ready to showcase your ideas. Write a handwritten essay of not more than 500 words on the topic gender-based violence in schools, causes, consequences, and solutions. And yes, the rewards are exciting. First prize, a brand new laptop plus a 50,000 new leones scholarship grant. Second prize, 30,000 new leones. And third prize, 20,000 new leones. Remember, your essay must be handwritten, not typed. Upon submission, please include your full name, passport photograph, your age, town and district, school name, and of course, the name and phone number of your parent, guardian, or teacher. Submit your essay at any UBA branch, MBSSE Regional Office nationwide, or the ILRAJ office, or send us a scanned copy to cfc-sierra-leone@ubagroup.com. For more information, please call us on 078 200 200 or 099 22 11 22. Deadline for submission, April 30th, 2026. So, sharpen your pen, share your ideas, and be the voice for change. Visual impaired students are also encouraged to apply. The UBA Foundation National Essay Competition, unlocking young talent and shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Write it, submit it, win it.
Building tomorrow today with Right Move. Looking for quality, reliability, and innovation in your next big build? Choose Right Move Engineering and Construction, Sierra Leone's trusted name in transforming ideas into enduring structures. We don't just build projects, we craft landmarks that stand the test of time. From state-of-the-art offices and modern homes to fuel stations, water systems, and infrastructure, our team delivers precision, passion, and perfection. At Right Move, we are not following industry standards, we are setting them. Through cutting-edge technology, uncompromising safety, and sustainable solutions, we are building a brighter, stronger, and safer Sierra Leone. Visit us at 54 Campbell Street, Freetown, or call 078399475 or 077504338. Right Move Engineering and Construction. Building quality, building trust, building the future.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the midweek edition of the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV with this team na Facebook, YouTube, and also now a website where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We will bring this edition of the Breakfast Show come to you this Wednesday morning. My name na Khadija Bangura.
And me, Namibel Kaba. Good morning. Today na Wednesday, the 18th day of March 2026. Inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, like always, we get different things of public interest where we can discuss this morning. Inside this edition, we can talk about the Council of Churches Sierra Leone CCSL, their own position regarding the amendments where they go on now the Constitution, as they don't look at the existing Constitution and the proposed amendments them where they now na Parliament, and they don't get their own position on this. Now one of the topic then they can discuss now the program this morning. And also inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, now with Sister TV online TV station this week, we been get information outside discussion being happen outside we hear say government, according to the Minister of Trade, they say government they lost but 30% of the tariff them we can to revenue for sake of the way how then they try for stabilize the issue we get for do with fuel. Well, this according to the deputy opposition leader in Parliament, Honorable Aaron Koroma, this not been go down well with him as him believes say this statement from the minister not to go where they can get concerns them where it gets regarding that particular statement today as it go can't talk about waiting in think but this 30% where government said and they lost span tax for sake of the way how then they try for stabilize the fuel price. And also we hope for hearing from the Minister of Foreign Affairs for sake of the tripartite summit where we see the presidents for Guinea, Salon and Liberia being get this BNTM. Waiting at the outcome of how we go able for bring peace come na the border side them between them countries. So we hope for get the Minister of Foreign Affairs also for let we get that conversation there on that.
Well, we get so much for discuss inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, and on ourselves for the watch we at some point go get the opportunity for Aduna voice them inside this edition of the Breakfast Show. Una send we una comment them through the comment section, send you message, and we go read all the messages them later on inside the program. We they start the conversation and we can go to the Council of Churches where been sidom look inside the constitutional amendments process where they go on now, and based on the analysis that they recommend say the country for use the PR systems of first past the post, I beg your pardon, first past the post systems of election. And if we don't they follow recently we see Osai Chadi when Abdul Fatoma been do opinion polls when say 64% of the cities in the way they talk to then prefer the first past the post system of election than the PR system of election. We see again Osai organization like new themselves been conduct a nationwide survey, talk to people Now the same outcome being come out from waiting new Chadi and now CCSL self don't join for recommend say 2028 election for be first past the post. Although waiting the government they propose within a parliament now the PR system of election. Well, they can talk to Bishop Bendu way na the chair for the advocacy committee from the CCSL. We go can tell we how them come about for no say na the first past the post system of election go work for the country and waiting at some of the recommendation then they make to government. And now we all know the Parliament of Sierra Leone and that of the Office of the Attorney General, they call on citizen group them, they call on advocacy group them for put a position paper. We make CCSL on put them position paper and then they recommend say whether they amend the constitution now the first past the post system of election therefore ensure say them put inside the amendment of the 1991 constitution for adopt the electoral reform them. We go inform how the next election go happen 2028. Well, at the studio this morning, I want to welcome Bishop Bendu. We come out from the CCSL for can tell we how they arrive at this conclusion, say that the first past the post system of election and other recommendation they would make na them position paper we then send to Parliament. Good morning, Bishop.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you.
All right, I don't give we viewers them just a quick recap as to waiting the inside this position paper we una put together concerning the constitutional amendment where they go on now the country usai parliament they try for amend certain section them na the 1991 constitution for adopt some of the recommendation them we get for those electoral reforms we come out from the tripartite recommendation them. Firstly, as Council of Churches in Sierra Leone, CCSL, waiting draw our attention to this entire process.
Well, the Council of Churches in Sierra Leone, na an ecumenical body. It means church them we come together, united for promote justice, peace and unity in the country. And we roll now also for make sure that we support transformation and justice in the country. We don't do them since 1924, so not a new thing to we for be involved in things that relate to governance because now part of the church in prophetic role. A part of the way the church for make sure say society become peaceful and justice in our society and society become transformed and everybody live in a very fair and peaceful way. So we position paper based on, first of all, the call of the Speaker of Parliament. Even though we for still do them, we don't do anything without the call. But this call was general that people can react and get them position to the proposed bill where they try to amend the 1991 Constitution. So normally what we can do is when we receive the kind of they will pray, we study the documents, we get consultations, we get discussions, and then we make decisions on what we feel say based on the guidance of God and all the members them where they meet, waiting we feel say could be the best thing for bring peace and tranquility in the country. And so now that lead we to the position paper. And I want to make it clear for say there are many other things we don't discuss, we don't give press statement them for. But this position paper specifically reacts to the bill where them propose in the parliament. So we not go beyond them. And we not try to address every matter. Some of the things that we will agree with 100%, quite a lot of them we agree with. So we not bother for make recommendation on them. We just commend them. For instance, one of them are the 30% quota for women based on the GEW Act, the GEW Act. We commend them and we feel say a novelty and it will be enshrined in the Constitution. So then we also look at the appointment of the Electoral Commissioner. We now one part of the things that in the proposed bill. The proposed bill say the president then they appoints from various bodies them and organizations them. For instance, the president will appoint somebody from the interreligious community. Of course, the ones we definitely go draw attention. The president will appoint somebody from the Bar Association, from SLACH, So we think say it will be the other way around, in as much as the president forgets the authority for appoint, but now them bodies there for nominate person to the president. Then in can appoint or endorse. Then if you think say no, and not like the one appoint or nominate, you can ask them back, say give me other person for ABC reason they were not go make. So the president get that authority. So but by that way they will go get people and we go credible where everybody go trust. Because the most important thing is about trust, and trust is very important in governance. When people trust somebody where they in a governance position, then it's easy for everybody believe whatever declaration or pronouncement they can make. So now that's for that one. Then the second one was the issue of who that's almost percent or almost vote somebody forgets for be declared as president of Salon. But first of all, there is a new thing in that section there, where it talks say we can now get independent presidential candidates. The Council of Churches in Sierra Leone 100% agree with Dandy, because we think say Dandy they open space. So we agree say independent candidates is fine. So looking at that, the bill they propose say okay, the person forgets more than half. And then if not only that, but there is like 2-tier something. One part you forget 2-tier majority system. One part you get half, more than half. The other part you for win at least 20% in 2/3 of the districts of Sierra Leone. So then we think say them for adjust them. So first we agree say 50% plus 1. That's not the first criteria. We want to be president, you forget them. But second, we think say the 20% of 2/3 of the district of Sierra Leone, the that's why. It go exclude plenty people and eliminate even the independent candidate where they talk. So we think say, in as much as that legitimacy for let you get votes from various parts of the country is a very valid idea. We support them, but that them for reduce the threshold. We they suggest say 5% in at least half of the districts of Sierra Leone. So then they open and low enough, but also it gets a national character enough for anybody who for be president for this country. So 50% plus 1 votes, and then 5% in at least half of the districts of Sierra Leone. Now we they recommend. As opposed to what in the bill say, more than half and 20% in 2/3 of the districts where I. Then the other one was the issue of fixed dates for elections. We support that the 100% that if good follow get fixed dates for elections, because it will prevent a lot of problems. One, everybody don't know say Salon election has also dates after every 5 years. So nobody not go to begin to ask for 6 months or say, oh, this not done, that push until this month. So now make you see the election always they go behind. They always the past 5 years. So the fixed dates I think is very fine. But also there is another proposal in the bill where they say if person want for petition and elections results, it will be 3 days after the declaration. We think say the 3 days too small for several reasons. The bill not even talks say 3 working days. It say 3 days. So just imagine if they declare the results on a Friday. And Saturday not to like full-fledged working day. Sunday not to working day. Then when the person go prepare for file in petition in courts. So even if they may say 3 working days, we still think say small. So we recommend say let be 5 working days for give ample time to anybody who want for petition result to the Chief Justice. And that go also all go well because the bill they propose say 7 days. Then for the after them when the Supreme Court the Chief Justice don't get the results, he can give clearance to the Electoral Commissioner for declare results. So within 5 days, he go don't know if posting the petition. So that 7 days, if nobody not petition, he go declare. The other issue was citizenship. You know, the bill they propose say where if you're a naturalized citizen, you no go able be member of parliament or president for this country. But then can appoint you as cabinet minister. We not get problem with that. But we get problem with the definition of citizen. Because in the 1991 constitution, it's not clear. We know say the 1973 Citizenship Act being tried for define other than a citizen. But we think say they need to look at that definition so that we will get the definition of who are citizen right now with constitution. Because we interest is we don't want some people in the country, we left them stateless. Because people in the suffer that kind of thing. For instance, somebody way in great grandpa born in one country with something the color and white color. But they don't come born in great grandpa now, they don't born in great granny now, in grandpa and granny, in papa and mama, they born them all now. Then that person don't even know that country they inside them born them great people them. They not recognize and they are citizens. Then we self not able to recognize and based on that 1973 that's where they talk about Negro descent. That means if you be black person. So in as much as we don't want to look at the details, but we think say therefore define who that's a citizen, but let that definition make sure say it not discriminate to a point that will left some people stateless. I'm sure you remember the case of the Akas. Then we don't try for filing at some point some years back for let them be citizen for Salon because now they sabi now they number all them but they lost that case. Have been bad precedents. Other people and they will also don't struggle with that. So then we also look at the things that the offenses that will go disqualify person from becoming president. There is a long list of offenses, and then one of the offenses in the list now electoral offenses. And so if somebody commits electoral offenses and not go qualify for contest for presidency, we say okay, the list all good, but them get a preamble. Now the proposal will say if somebody were non convicted for 12 months imprisonment enough for qualify. So we think say na for maintain no more left all the other lists because if you say the list, you will list quite a number. And like the list of electoral offenses is vague. Small electoral offense they can use them for disqualify person. So therefore, let us just left and say any offense where they lead to 12 months imprisonment, that person did not go qualify. So it means the courts, the judiciary now gets that authority now for make sure say any offense where they don't convict person for over 12 months, that person not go qualify.
Bishop, let me go back to Usayu stats, where you state on our own position paper we on a send regarding the constitutional amendment. As a council, on one of the group where the public don't see as moral guarantors them on a non mixed and politics business. When things then they happen of public interest, then you want hear on a voice. Just like how on a don't state on a position paper regarding the appointment of the chief electoral commissioner. On a don't send on our own position as to waiting on our support. So when the idea of getting that committee together, we go for suggest to the president names of people before he go pick among the names and the whether he go agree or not and come back to the committee. But there is this outstanding issue regarding that particular amendment day where they go on now, and we see the opposition they out of governance right now because now one of the issue that where they don't pick on say they don't go agree say now that committee they for do that work day, but the president already while the amendments they go on don't go ahead and pick person. As a council, waiting on a think about this decision because it already to a point now where the opposition then don't they out of governance and we see negotiations don't they go on, but waiting on a make up of the whole thing. The amendment is going on and now disappointments don't come.
Yes, it's a technical issue. Unfortunately, me being a chairman for advocacy committee, the president of CCSL and the spokesman for council. But it can delegate, like how we delegate so. But we're not able to come, we not get any position on that yet. We don't begin look at them. You know, we not in any urgency because we want to make sure say one, like I say, we pray, we consult, we discuss, and then we decide. So we not get any position on the stalemate where they right now, where the opposition don't boycott parliament and the councils them. We not get any position. It's of course now wish for every party be involved in the governance of this country at all times. But really we not get any position on that it. So I will reserve my comment first on that.
We not get position on that it, but I see when they recommend for the appointment. One person for being nominated by the Intelligent Just Council, the Bar Association, SLAG, and under one them for the appointment of the Search and Nomination Committee. And this particular one, I don't bring the stalemate sooner because now the appointment of Edmond Alpha make the APC stay out of governance because for them they believe say the government or they treat seriously some of the things they would then bargain for during the tripartite. Are you concerned as a council of churches?
Definitely we're concerned. I mean, anything that affects good governance in the country, naturally they make we become very much concerned. I agree with you now, the influence one they draw. There is a relationship between the recommendations then where we they make and what thing they take place right now. But we also want to differentiate the two. Because what will they do now? There is no the new constitution not begin it. A proposal they first enough go through the processes of parliament done it. This don't can happen. So this now a different matter from we position paper. We position paper now waiting we for amend for solve some of this kind problem now with the rise. So we believe say recommendation go help for solve this problem in the future.
Let us say una na moral guarantors them na society. How soon the public get for hearing from the council as a body regarding what's they happen now in governance? How
Definitely we go come out very soon. But I also allow now say we not to pressure group, we not to activists advocate to the advocates. Sometimes the way they do with advocacy, we even meet the leaders them at the background where nobody know they will not they go na public. So we know too urgent for go into the public. And I make plenty of people say, what in the church don't say, what in the church don't say. Because we get boundaries then. We can come out when we know say it's necessary for come out. Sometimes we even resolve some issue they mediate. We will not get any press statements. We make sure so we meet the people that we're concerned, we talk to them, and then take their decision. They will not come out at all. But until we don't they work on. But for now, we not get any position on waiting the happy now when the opposition party come out in our council and parliament.
You say una not to pressure group. Agreed. You say before una come out and make a statement, una they consult, una they pray, and other things they una believe so una for do as religious leaders. Currently, with what is happening in the country, I sure say una self-aware of the rising tensions politically between the two major players, the APC and the SLPP. Una don't create time for seek the face of God on their behalf?
Well, definitely, we don't even go past that stage now. They discuss her now. We discuss her now, and once we agree, remember saying now different churches them come together. Once we agree, we get a consensus. Then we also get a press statement on that, and we go area by God in power.
This one will bring all this issue. Now, one wanna strongly recommend, based on waiting the inside the proposal them from the tripartite recommendation them when I forget to such a nomination committee. But for you now, you say if they adopt within the inside on a position paper, now for the future, for stop some of them problems there.
Definitely.
And at the same thing again, the opposition, they argue, say, it's not supposed for be for the future. Whatever they agree on during the tripartite, nothing will for stop the problems ahead of the 2028 elections.
Yeah, you're right. But tripartite agreement not to constitution. This way they before we now are the amendments of the 1991 constitution. The constitution supersede all other laws of this country. So now that making a technical matter. I mean, personally, I wish this statement not before don't happen. I wish we for don't go, we amend the constitution and then we carry on with governance. But also a constitution get for work in the country. And for now that the 1991 constitution now in the work. But no matter what's in the happen now because we they at the crossroads, we they try for amend the 1991 constitution. We don't call for this for a long time. We think say a long overdue the amendment of this constitution, and that's all don't bring this problem. Because when I remember from the Truth and Reconciliation reports, that big recommendation that we will review this constitution. Some of the way appointments that they happen, they bring tension in the country. So now that make we the open pray now that as we don't get with position, Parliament go look at them and make sure say they look at them matter day. But there is one other major one where we recommend we are not been talk about it.
We can't talk about that,
Exactly.
Bishop. Let me just bring in we other studio guest. We na Honorable Aaron Aruna Koma, in the Deputy Leader 2 for the main opposition na Parliament. We na the All People's Congress APC party. We don't boycott Parliament now and they're not in session. But today are so for talk on something very important. We in feel say na a concern where it take na in social media yesterday and try for state. Some of them concern there where it get regarding a statement where Alpha CC, when the Minister of Trade, we make now a sister media institution when a Truth Media. So Honorable Aaron been questioned some of the things the way he say and he bring down statistics and percentages why he feels say the statements where the minister be make not accurate. Good morning, Mr. Leader.
Good morning.
All right. Well, if you know, fortunate for see some of the things then way Honorable Aaron claim, let's just quickly give a summary. They ask the minister, say the claim way is say government they lost 30% of the tax revenue for stabilized fuel price. This now one way Honorable Aaron say is serious concern and question where in feel say he not go able for ignore. He also go ahead for say how the government they talk about losses where the tax on fuel do actually increase. This na question where Honorable Aaron asks. He also talk about the excise duty where it's a jump from 2.8 leons per liter inside December last year to 5 leons per liter as of yesterday, where it make up this piece. He also talk about infrastructure development fund where levy. They say they don't increase them from 2.64 leons to 3.44 leons as of yesterday. And he talk about the petroleum fund where they levied from 0.25 inside 2024 to 0.40 as of yesterday. All is a also exactly the 30% loss where government they talk about, so say they come off from. And for I feel like say Sierra Leone and them no they pay more tax per liter now than before. And I question again where Honorable Aaron they ask. So this is not summary of the things that we get concerned about. So if feel like say you need for make the public know. Honorable, let we go back to some of the things that we talk about. And the fuel issue is topical. Sierra Leoneans are they seriously concerned or they see increase in commodities or they see increase in transportation. As of yesterday, the Ministry of Transport announced new prices. Firstly, we get Edmond Abu yesterday, Naya. We seriously they blame on as opposition say all of them here they happen because on a fail for doing a homework. Close that from there.
Well, thank you very much. I think yes, we boycott governance, but the fact remains we are still members of parliament. And representative role still remains sacred. And that make us still make position and we still make representation on issues where they affect to people. Coming to Edmond Abu assertion, well, you get right to in your opinion. Now one advocate we are so much appreciate because it don't show consistency from APC to now. It still don't they show passion for advocates for issues we get for do with fuel and also communications. So I'm for Guy and that flower day. But saying that we not don't do it, but sometimes it possible say not don't follow the debate. Me and I made you open the debate for Finance Act normally. If you watch parliamentary hazards, even the debates, them if you now see this issue of fuel, now one panish they will raise very, very strongly with the minister. We say the increase is been so exponential, and this one get forget to ripple down effect on the basic on the price of the price per liter, where in turn gets an effect on the cost of basic goods and services. If you now see the likes of AK and almost every other MP we debate during the last Finance Act onto the budget debate, the issue of fuel was topical. So this was where we expected civil society, as they were during the APC, when they would take up the debate, because Parliament did initiate the news. So we need not forget an active and engaged civil society will take up news and make sure say, because when we make position, mostly they say them for be political, then we say because you're in APC. But when the civil society gets an informed and an engaged civil society, take up issues sustainably, then government will say this is not a neutral position. And that's where we don't say it don't lack. Before now, they see consortium, they come together, then they carry down government, make positions on where government increase fuel. We have not seen that. In all of these fights, now only at Bonabu they talk. They say that civil society go and even endorse within government they say. So I think say this one get for do much in their own space, but when it comes to the opposition, we have really made our effort because we don't sustain the arguments, we don't make the people know, we don't move, we even move much on them that they say they need for increase the excise tax because increase in it from 2.8 to 5 was very much exponential. And this now one side, we said the last government they play with for make sure say the prices of the pump price not go increase for affect the basic man.
Honorable, just for clarification.
Yes.
You make mention say these na things the way una be don't see from the way the Minister of Finance go the Finance Act.
Yeah.
Now Parliament.
Yes.
But now Ministry of Trade and also PRA, where they come out to the public, then they base the increase there so because of the crisis now the Middle East.
Well, as I say, much as we hold the cost of, or I say the global cost constant, you very clear see disruption happen na the Middle East or na the Gulf region, where most of the oil na then say they come on. Then they very clear and until they affect the global economy, they affect everybody. And it also clear see Israel not to an oil exporting nation or neither when a country where they process your oil, na import to the importer. Then they also granted. I think the pricing formula we look at them is also very much clear. They take into account of all of that. Now make the thing very much clear. But I think see, just like what at our right here, what more take as serious issue now the fact that yes, price of flat price don't increase, but it don't increase to a point that it will lead to an increase to the price per liter way government they sell price, where government they sell fuel now. And I think that in a moment like this, where they get global disruptions, or where they get issues we get for affect when a global shocks or whatsoever, that's where every responsible government they come inside for pushing the effect on the average Sierra Leonean rather than making a full pass through where in turn go affect the life of Sierra Leoneans. Nobody's salary is not going to increase within this period of disruptions. The salaries remain constant. The spending of the average man and woman will continue for increase. You know, whilst government will continue for increase in the revenue drive. And that's the erroneous part where, as you see, the claim of the minister was just an indirect way for run away from the responsibility. Instead of proposing a way for cushion on the effect of the price of the global, because when you look at the cases, as I say, you look at yes, from January to March. If you now see the price was around 600 and something, now you don't move to 600 to March. Before they do this last review, it was around 680. We mean say if we do the comparison for the last from 2024 to 2025, the price was around $715 per metric ton. Yet fuel was sold at 25 leons.
So, Honorable, are you saying the 30% losses where the minister they claim say government the loss on this issue of fuel and the price is not realistic, or you prefer them for don't talk about solutions we go cushion the effects where they come on the citizens?
Well, you know they even exist. There is no way government know they lost no 30%. Instead, government don't increase the revenue. But if they compare, if they use 2025 as a baseline, you look at them to what they get now, government the revenue don't increase by even 58.3%. And if you use the January pricing formula, where they issue, government revenue don't increase by at least 33%, and I justify that. When you look at the first pricing, the first component of the pricing formula, and what they call the petroleum fund, I tell when I say this one in 2025 actually they increase them. It was 0.25, they increased to 0.40. That's in the service an increase in the price per liter. You look at the excise tax, it was 2.8, it don't increase to 5. You look at the infrastructure development fund, where it have been 2.64, it don't increase to 3.44. And this 2.64, even in January of 2026, now be 2.64 9 government gets per liter. Just when they review the pricing formula in March of this year, they increase them from 2.64 to 3.44. And when you count for, if we go to price correction levy, the price correction levy, this is not like a buffer where government they maintain. That in case of any exchange rate volatility, government they maintain now for make sure that the loss when they make because of any possible waiver or tax break or subsidy when they give, it cushion the effects of the losses where government they lost. But in this case, we get a stable, relatively stable exchange rate. Now, you make if you look at the previous pricing formula, if you look at the September pricing formula, they all use almost till to December of 2025. If now say this pricing collection levy, it was zero. Government of the collecting money day. Onto even the January pricing formula, if you look at them, now zero amounts in any day. So this pricing formula now, we don't put up this much, then put amount now from 0 to 2.8. So that in total increase the government's own share of the pricing formula from 5.84 litres per litre to 11.62. So mathematically, call that they get 5.84. Now because of all the variables, now they get 11.62. It shows say if you take the baseline of the January 2026 pricing formula as baseline, it shows say government revenue don't increase by at least 33%. So not to revenue loss at all.
Are you surprised when you see the increase there in terms of the taxes? Because you see other countries them during this crisis, then they put mechanism in place for cushioning the burden on the citizens. But Saloya na the other way around.
Well, that is where we see this for be very much unfortunate. And I think say government really need to rise up to their responsibilities. The responsibility of government not to for push burden on people. Sometimes a government need to take the bullet, they need to take the shocks from the people, rather than allowing the people to suffer the brunt, whilst you still they receive what they receive. And Khadija, what's more unfortunate the fact that for the past 3 to 4 years, even then OMCs they also or then transports are there so where they want to use as scapegoats for say now then you push them. No, they push them. Then your amount and the price formula remain constant. Now 5 years 22 cents now you don't get for the past 3 to 4 years. It means say if not for the normal, if not to the global price is waking up. Most of the way say then talk now because global price don't shift, then you want make it reflect on the pump price. But what then they get? We're inclusive of the profit margin, we're inclusive of waiting then they pay for tanker or everything. We get all that cost we of course he also add where then call they will get for make sure they stabilize the price. It also not the pricing formula where they make sure say uniform rates levy when they levy. Then they go to the OMCs them. Why they go to the AMCs? Because the government can want may they able sell fuel at a uniform price across the country because otherwise free turn for them they get lesser price of fuel than Kailan. So government can put an amount of 0.07 litres per the price information. You look at the last item almost second to last item. So if you add that 0.07 plus the other components for the OMC we have 5.22. In other words, the OMC then only though they get about 5.29 litres per litre, and that has been so for the past almost 4 years. So this is not a factor of OMCs. Now solely an issue we get for the government. You get an issue already with struggle the economy. You know the effects of fuel on the basic life of ordinary man and woman. You know we increase excise tax from 2.8 in December of 2025. So we open $5 millions.
Is this deliberate from the economists them or the technical experts them within the NRA and the Ministry of Finance?
So to me, deliberate. It just shows that they're not sensitive to the suffering of Sierra Leoneans. Because any government who is sensitive to the suffering of Sierra Leoneans, like in Liberia now, even when they increase, they wouldn't do price increase. They don't increase the price for fuel. The price is very clear. They increase the diesel because the state of most we get the issue. Now more of heavy diesel commodity we not diesel related. Now if you look at the flat price, the diesel won't increase more than even how the petrol price even increase. So if you increase some, yes, it's better. But Liberia even with all the increase to date, then they sell a gallon of diesel at a liter of diesel. When you look at the conversion from the gallonage to liter, at least 29 litres equivalent to a liter. Whereas the petrol still they sell at around $23, 23 litres. When me say it's as if Sierra Leone is a different planet. We will not get a government where they listen and really care about the suffering of the people.
Government still they explain say if they not be manage the situation, if you don't dare pass how it is currently, you think say then they use them for score political goal, even though by your explanation then they make profits on that.
Mabel, look at the pricing formula. The pricing formula is self-explanatory. It will tell you all the factors where they take into consideration for determining the cost per liter. One of the reasons we make it financial, when I need to ask government, why is it that when the company increase with the just don't make so now, they not issue pricing formula? Unlike the other increases. The increase they make from January to March, they issue pricing formula for January, they also issue pricing formula for March. Now, when it can now, within the same March, where they increase the diesel from 32 to 32.20 to 35, as they can do other alteration, they not issue pricing formula. Because
you they suspect, say, the government they hide something.
That is clear. They deliberately, if you see for the very first time, they not put pricing formula public as they used for do. As I tell you, within 1 month, within 2 months, from January to March, when price obstruction happened, they issue pricing formula for January. They also issue pricing formula to the public for March. Given all the breakdowns, whereas this particular increase, they just give bulk. They not give no breakdown. The fact remains is then as government still maintain the 5 loans per litre when they maintain, they still maintain then 3.4 contrary to 2.64 for the infrastructure levy they receive in 2025, or maybe even for the price correction, where now be zero in March of last year. They don't increase, don't put cost now at 2.08 when they still is. So we put all of those ones, it tell you see we get a government, we not to a government we care about the suffering of the masses.
So outside the 30% loss, where the minister they claim now say government they lost, outside come out.
Well, probably need for can explain that one day. Now that make a challenge and see make income, make a show side which component of the pricing formula where government don't let go.
Maybe not the one way me and you not see it.
Well,
based on that pricing formula, they make that calculation. They say
even if
then as a government they lost about 30%. And if you listen to the explanation where the minister don't they make, it's then they try for manage the situation so well that the burden no go day on the citizen them. And there's speculation out there say, not only they tap at this 35, we get for go up until 70 leons if the situation not gets better na the Gulf region.
Karija, granted as I say, just like we start begin. We get factors where government not able for control. And those factors are always taken into consideration when government determine the price per litre of fuel. Where of course the plat price, the freight cost and everything. But mark the freight cost don't remain constant. The plat price now vary. As of today, the plat price per metric ton of oil don't go to around $940 per metric ton. This formula, not to the normal ascertain the price per litre. Anybody can do them. Where do the calculations? If you do everything, it shows say the price for the around just around 36 leons per litre. Now that's if for cost. But me, you know, say, in the last pricing formula of 2000 where we use it until December of 2025, government been selling for sale at 28.5 for 28 leons, but yet the dealers we are selling at around 25 leons, and that them they sell. That tells you even if the price be then calculated and saying at 36 or this, it's possible that now the OMCs them now they don't care for the suffering of the masses. If governments actually don't do any variation in form of given subsidy, I think say they don't come out clear for make a pricing formula where you should say they don't increase what they get for price per litre for excise tax from 5 leons to this, what they get for development infrastructure development from this to this. But the fact that they have not done so, it tells you that somebody else is sacrificed will not to government. And in most cases, now the OMCs they don't need sacrifice. Just like I happened in the last pricing formula. When I've been 28, government say they're for sale, but the OMCs they choose for sale at 25.
So how is that possible, Honorable? The OMCs, them we they say now they don't care for the suffering of the masses. Now business people them and me you know say businessman now himself he care about now profit he care about. And for example, even goods, products so they can get that in storage. When they buy at a normal before the prices go up.
Yeah.
As soon as the prices go up, then they shoot her up back for meet up the current price. And the government now then gets a contract to the citizen. Now then supposed for care for the citizen. Where the government say, then they do. Why you they accuse them say they don't care about the citizens?
Khadija, go to the way I say I like for refer to the various pricing formulas then. When you look at the pricing formula for June of 2025, we'll use until December of 2025. The flat price now be $716 per metric ton. Yet, waiting the OMC they see they still maintain them at 5.22. If you look at the September of 2024, when have been 750, we be relatively higher, they buy high. Yet, waiting they receive as OMCs, and while the OMCs inclusive of the way they import, their profit margin, the one way they transport them, the one way they deal, where they get the fuel station, all of them profit margin, everything inclusive. If you look at for the past years, they still don't maintain them at 5.22. So irrespective of whatever increase or whatever way they buy, what they care about now that they will cover the cost we they take for buy. But when it comes to the profit margin, they don't maintain them over time. And it is clear that onto March, the profit margin, where inclusive of everything, still don't remain at 5.22, when at 5.22 cents. Whereas government don't do a lot of increases and introduce even new tax the way they don't even collect. I tell you about even the correction of pricing levy. This now for the past 2-3 years, they not be even collect nothing.
But
now be zero.
But this not supposed for surprise you as a member of parliament.
Why for surprise me?
Some of them things they are they inside the Finance Act, and effective January 1, where this Finance Act come into effect, the cities they don't begin feel the pinch. Yeah. And I wanna pass this Finance Act to Parliament.
Khadija, even after the Finance Act, I take January as the baseline now. Where the Finance Act don't come into effect now. Where the Finance Act even don't come into effect, where they may sell fuel at 28.28, that is 28.5, where they increase and so. That's saying the excise tax might be 5. Waiting they do another pricing formula. They don't introduce new cost on the new levy on the pricing formula. Waiting they do it different, now that they introduce another new levy when they collect money from. When at the price collection levy. As of January, where this law just begin kind to effect, now be zero. Now March, we would think say any reasonable government, the fact that the fuel don't go beyond a level you able to control. I think if we come inside and cushion the fuel, was okay. I will continue for take nothing from the price collection levy. I will still maintain until zero. What in government do? Then in turn charge an amount of 2.08 leones per liter.
Honorable.
And then continue for increase other components of the pricing formula.
Honorable.
Unlike how other government they don't do before now.
Is the government cheating the people when it comes to this fuel business?
Well, to me, I want to say government is insensitive and they're not responsive to the sufferings of the people. Wait to mean a deviation of the very mandates because the people do not vote for IMF. Let's also assume now conditionality. They not vote for IMF, neither World Bank. And I think to say the priority of the government for B, then central priority in IASO. Much as they say they want for increase revenue, loss like excess tax. So government fail for understand say if increase fuel to 35 or 32, then self in turn are one of the largest fuel consumers. Because almost government workers from grade 7 and above, then they get 45 liters per week. So the more you increase them, the more you as a government.
So they seek the interest of the people.
That is what is evident in the pricing formula. Because if really they care about the suffering, you go see some variation where like how it used to happen during the APC government. There were 2 types of prices. Then we get prices for the consumers, meaning for me and you, whether they go buy fuel na depot for go sell na fuel station, it gets your own price. Then whether they go buy fuel for factory or for any other industry, they don't say these are the half people able afford. Then get their own price. These are all some of the ways where government they do for make sure say then create revenue whilst they also create buffer for protect the ordinary Israelians.
So based on this pricing formula, as of January to March, we now based on you draw your analysis because for you say you know see the new one where government use for increase to 35 for the diesel. Based on this pricing formula, the government and the OMCs, what are the greatest beneficiary?
Well, to me now the government, because government still continue to receive what they receive, while the OMC are still on constant. The fact that for the past how many years the amount of levy, the share of the price informed already been at 5.22, except government can't tell we say they don't increase them. I still think in our government and government don't introduce new tax layer from zero where they get nothing on price collection levy. They don't increase them to 2.08, and they don't also increase the infrastructure cost from 2.64 to 3.44. It shows saying now government the benefits rather than the OMCs or even the people.
All right, continue for the with Honorable Aaron. Or they come back to, you know, just cancel Bishop Bendu, where they explain some of the things them way them put inside them position paper where they don't send to Parliament concerning the constitutional amendment review where they go on. So now, Reverend Bishop, sorry, you been start for talk about some of the things there. Later on, you say there's a component where for you believe say very important, so you go want let the viewers them preview to.
Yes, well, I mean, this is probably not the most trending issue, the issue of which electoral system for use. And the proposed bill for amend the 1991 constitution, the government avoid putting the 1991 constitution being mentioned about first past the post and then change it to PR, as a proportional representation system. So the CCS, we think, say, the first past the post system is the best system for Sierra Leone at the moment. I mean, for several reasons. One, I have to explain the background to the decision. We are part of the Interreligious Council of Sierra Leone, and we done meets. We do several things then. We reach the consensus, say, the first past the posts better. So CCSL maintain them because, one, we think, say, they're more transparent. And they make parliamentarians and councillors more accountable to them people. Past the proportional representation system. We agree say the proportional representation gets advantage them. But you know, this is a comparative business. When you compare, you see say the first past the posts, one major thing for we religious people is the fact that people forget the opportunity for access the leader within the elects. In the first past the post system, you get the direct opportunity for access the leader of a constituency in a parliament and a representation, or na a ward in terms of councillors. So you're able for access the people away contests, you're able for determine beyond political parties say, I believe in this person. Never mind whose party we come out from. But in the PR system, you get a list of 10 people, for instance. Maybe through my own lenses, I don't access, and 5 of them people in there, I believe in them, but the other 5 are not believing them. But you get for vote 1 vote for all them 5, then they say bring a lot of confusion. But in the constituent system, 1 vote for 1 representative. So I can decide for vote for this constituency, the MP. If the council on another party they, nine are the best, I vote for them. Then secondly, it make the parliamentarian or the councillor they get a stronger link within constituents them. Because you know when they don't divide constituencies, you know the boundaries of the people the way they represent, whether in a council or in a parliament. So you're able to get that link with them, you're able to meet them, for let them guide you or give their opinion with regards to the, for make law them or for pass certain policies. So now that make we think say the first past the post system now the best. Despite all the other advantages that we PR gets, we think they are the best. But we say we can reform them or refine them somehow. Because every system, every political system gets disadvantage and advantage. The first past the post system, for instance, one of the disadvantages when they talk about is by-elections and violence. Well, for we violence, they happen at all elections, especially when the orientation of the people or tension they rise as a result of distrust. Because even with the PRO just do, there were lots of violence. They even bonus, then chap people so that is not a big problem. In terms of cost for by-elections, we agree say yes, there is additional cost. But also, na cost benefits analysis you go do. What thing go be the cost of electing the wrong parliamentarian than, for just take and say that party list now they use. So for we think say, electing a wrong leader, it cost more, past the cost they get for Dubai elections. So by elections for we okay. So all what we need now more sensitization and more awareness raising our various constituencies them.
But this PR system before the 2023 election, where the SLPP they try for push for let the country go with the PR systems of election. One of the major arguments are that with the PR, the country will be more united. The country will get cohesion, inclusiveness. Political party like the APC will even get seats na side them where the SLPP they consider say na the stronghold. SLPP go get seats na place where they consider say na the APC stronghold.
Yes, I mean we don't look at all one and they look. You can do the first past the post system and get some hybrid system inside. Continue they perform or they do that kind of thing. That may suggest say one, we forget quota for women if they use the PR system. So they therefore look at the technical people them. Then two, people like then disabled people or then disadvantaged people in society. Therefore also get a quota. So like let's give example of Thailand and Japan, what thing they use. Then they use the mixed member parallel system. The mixed member parallel system, now first past the post system, now the primary electoral system. So then divide the country into constituencies. Then after that, then get other seats they would call PR seats. So when you don't get members represent all the constituencies, they know them boundaries, they know them people and then people they know them. Then you also look at the votes where the party gets now a certain region. Then you allocate PR seats to each of the party, including the one that will win the constituency. So by that kind of system, it means nobody not the left unrepresented, because the major argument is that let's say for instance you get one district where the one will win the constituency get 40%. Then two other people that will contest get 30%. So it means 60% unrepresented. So now with the post past the post mixed parallel system, that 60% if they do PR for proportional representation. Then if one party get the 30%, you give them a seat for that, the other party give them a seat for that. Now very simple system, even complex reach the proportional representation system where we they use. So as far as we concern, we see the first past the post get more advantage. They help for access to leader. They create the link with the leader and in community. But also we can refine them for making somehow hybrid and bring the mixed member parallel system.
Like you say earlier, this is one of the loudest conversations then regarding the amendments and where they go on. And from the ruling bench, all others we don't host now talk about this. They want Salon for go ahead with the PR system. When una be the meet for agree say una position for before settle for the first past the post. Una review this particular PR system we get them current members of parliament na parliament so now whether it work well for Salon, because they be use them for convince. We see the last parliament agree for them and now in the country they use. So now una been review for know if it work well.
Definitely. In fact, that the right time this for put this argument in place. Because they use proportional representation system now and we don't use constituency system. Where you get some diligent parliamentarians then, despite the fact that now PR lists now they go to parliament, then still within their mind, then they work with constituencies. So honestly, when you talk with all the MP in a parliament, except for few, they do their work based on constituencies in their mind. Even though legally not
even the ruling MPs.
They are even ruling MPs. Then they go and say me constituency. I remember one man they talk. They say me. I say you get constituency, not to district you get. They understand what they do by constituency. So it means this now with normal understanding. In natural say we understanding is first past the post system. But they can look at them for refine. I mean, another disadvantage where PR gets, it they make the elitists then and then go end up for their power. Look,
how?
Because now the party now they pick. So when the party they pick, most times now the decision makers of the highest level now they make them final decision one day, and they go end up for picking themselves for going to parliaments and left the one they regulated at the constituency system. The last one Electoral. If we do one back, we go realize say the district chairman and for various parties, then go put the name on the list, number one. That because of now the party now get more power for pick the people, but in a constituency based. Before the party they pick, they assess the candidates, how much it gets popularity. Now with young people them at the various boundaries.
But Bishop, then two system of election there, where according to Una feel say that the first past the post are the best for the country because it go create a level playing field for everybody. You know, go disadvantage nobody. And the PR system gets some disadvantage that we just not outline. The government they push for the PR, the APC then look comfortable with the first past the post. When I one party thing then this, we don't bring the disagreements between them, we make the amendments of the 1991 constitution. As of now, nobody no even know if there is progress or national money for left, the kind of left zone parliament.
First of all, we believe say this constitution go pass this time. It don't overdue.
But
you write what you write with what they say. You see, politicians when then they look at situations, then they calculate. Calculation in the sense the one party go look if PR system go make it get more seats, the other one they look if first past the post go make it get more seats. That is normal. It's natural for all politicians. And with we historical and political settings, you can able for calculate and know what will be the possible end. Now that make what they say refine the first past the post system and bring in some amounts of proportional representation, like the mixed member parallel system, where will they explain? That they settle the problem of whoever get the fear say with first past the post, even if I get say 49 votes, they all get 51 go win me. But with 49 people, they go still they unrepresented. So if you get PR seats and you get constituency seats, that will solve the problem. The only implication with the mixed member system is that there is likelihood for them to get an increased number of members of parliament. But even now they can be adjusted. For now, we get 132 contested seats them. I mean, they can reduce them and expand some constituencies. And then let's say you left 100 seats for constituency based, 32 seats for proportional representation. So it means if a party do very well in a certain region, but they not get any constituency seats, the proportional representation can award them 1 or 2 seats based on the formula.
Bishop, this way they explain now from a citizen's perspective, we feel like say the first past the post, now the best system we go develop the country, we go give the rights to the citizen them, we go make the representative them become accountable to the constituents them, where they elect them for bona parliament. But when you look at the political party them, each one hold a position now based on what it feels say will give a political advantage.
Definitely. I make we neutral. What we promote is that in a non-partisan situation, I will promote. I mean, the political party, you can't stop them from being partisan. I make them be party. Always they go look for the way they bring advantage to them. But we they try for make them know say a right for the country day in a state where peace and justice go day. And the most just way we go do election for representatives in a parliament, and where the people are able for directly pick somebody they want for their constituency. But also the one that we not able for win, we not get that majority because the first past the post now majoritarian system is clear. So the one that we go there when the person no win, you can also award them some PR seats. We go solve that problem. So the both parties can come together and look at them. And the formula not going to be too difficult for workout because country they do them. We not say, I mean, all the parties them, nobody not go be willing for let's go on something go bring competitive advantage to the other person.
We can calculate the possibilities because both parties here they seek their own interest.
Exactly.
And the people and let lose.
So we they try for promote an interest, we go bridge the gap. We start at the middle. So refine the first past the post system. And then the country go able for go in a way where everybody will get opportunity. Independent candidates them will get opportunity. We for them might as well say okay, because we look at that say okay, reduce the threshold. of the PR system will be too high. But also, if you can still reduce the threshold, one of the parties still get for the lists. You see, and the government go get for decide to kind PR in fact for use, because there are many ways that they use PR. For instance, alone we don't use the two list system. Now one list system they use. So all around and they get their own disadvantage. So for we want for let the people assess somebody based on the integrity, in honesty, and in morality. Now them various constituencies, never mind how they go apportion the constituencies them, but let people pick people them, now then constituency them. But also refine them in a way that unrepresented voters they're not good. Then go accord them if like now 1 or 2 seats them in various parts of the country. By that, all particular get seats now all regions of this country. And peace and tranquility go then trust back go there. Because trust is very important in this process.
All right, Bishop, continue for the bit. We'll come back to you shortly. You still watch the breakfast show. They come to you live on Liberty Online TV. When they come over to the deputy minority leader in our parliament, Honorable Aaron, as we continue the conversation, we get to do with concerns and we there is regarding the comments and where the trade minister makes the government a loss 30% on this fuel business in terms of revenue generation. Although you they challenge that based on the metrics them where you don't give the viewers them earlier. But let we look at, because the crisis they continue at the Middle East, if this particular situation continue in the long run, what do you foresee with you challenging government claims and the metrics them where you don't get to the viewers them as per waiting and use for calculate? What do you foresee if this continue?
Well, this not new, as I say. Issues of global crisis where they lead to plat price disruptions, not a new thing. We don't get situation where price per metric ton don't even go beyond way $1,000. We don't get them, but we know how government in and government out don't they manage them. The reason why we get government now for take care of situations, then kind of situation they are so. Government gets components. I mean, government are part of the determinant. We look at even like the match formula. The actual landed cost of fuel now 14 point something millions. In other words, now it actually cost them. But because of the government factor, where they take almost 11 leons and the distribution cost where they cover the OMCs and everything, the price can go up to I think the involvement of government in the pricing formula now for take care of the kind of shocks there. So in an event, we get a situation like what don't they happen so at the wall. We factually we don't happen, we did beyond a level, we of course the price not really determine that to know. But because you are part of the pricing formula, delaying implementation of certain components of waiting for count to you, no mean say get money. Now that make us say not like you can go back to how what they receive. Before now, government they receive 2.8 leons per liter for excise tax. They can go back to that. And when they receive 2.8, they may still, with free education be still there. They may still pay salaries of teachers. Government they still function. That tells you we can still go back to that 2.8 where no go create great disruptions on government spending. Government will still get a lot of window for spend on. I think we may, us where they think about anti-mots, not the billows. So in area of infrastructure, come we increase them from 2.64 to 3.4. That's going to be another area where government for look at in the long run. Where I think they need for look into them, for put some, go back to how they been doing the maintenance before now. Until January of this year, until we come to this March, now be 2.64. Why they increase them to 3.44? We think at the time we factor the way they build their control, for government to actually reasonable, this will be the more defining time. Where then for don't even put them back to 2.64 or even eliminate them completely. And also vary the price of the excise tax per liter when they get for make sure so they cushion the effect. If they do so, even with the current price as we speak today, okay, if you look at the current price per oil is about $940. If you do the formula, it means price of fuel will be around 30 something million. So if government just do small adjustments, a price of fuel will be sold at around 30 leons.
When you talk
instead of 32 leons.
Similar thing yesterday again, Edmond Abubin say, but it come again say it boils down to the National Petroleum Regulatory Agency. Where for aspects of transparency issues, they na that particular office day. From what you don't explain, and this last formula we don't know, give to the public. You said they agree say the area of transparency, governments need for look into the NPRA, especially the leadership for ensure say them be transparent in terms of letting the people know how the formula they and how they work.
Well, this show transparency get for be must because this native way NPRA don't they take pride in say they're very transparent when it comes to the pricing formula. So he absorbed that now, then decide for become something different. All these years, they know they issue comprehensive pricing formula where they show the inputs to the price per liter. But why they not show the same pricing formula now? That in itself don't show see some amount of questions when it comes to the government transparency don't come inside. The issue of PRA gets a great role for play. I may even get issues as to even waiting you do their money. Because if you look at the cost, fine. I can understand but RMFA price now 0.7 leons per liter 9 they get. We all know say no, not so different. There is an amount they go to where road user charge when at 0.7 when our money they go straight to RMFA and there's an infrastructure cost where they go straight to Ministry of Finance we in separate those are separate with and call. So these are all the same thing for road infrastructure not the infrastructure roads and infrastructure are the same. So now make one for don't stand in a crisis like this because they get the roads where they go to RMFA. We can say, okay, let's vary or let's suspend first the implementation of the infrastructure. But coming to NPR, you might not lost me thought, and the fact that when you look at the objective of that levy, where we call it petroleum fund, where they go to them, we increase from 0.25 to 0.4. The usage of I get issue with them. Not for just the administrative cost that money they did for. That fund where they're supposed to use for even build reserves of fuel farms them across the country.
Are they doing that?
They are not. This now for them for use for even build on government infrastructure for able to get storage facilities. What means to say that storage money where government where OMC they pay to private people them. They don't they pay and again they pay now to government. And governments will use now one day for determine even price.
So
that's the self
ask them questions. Say, hey guys. This money where una the levy as tax to the citizen, we una collect them like this una supposed for do. Una really they monitor them for ensure say they do the right thing.
Well, we I think we the Sierra get for questioning. We are doing our part. These are issues I still mention this when we debate on my parliament in the 2025 Finance Act. As I tell you, I mean most of the open the debate when it comes to the Finance Act. I raise them as an issue. I say I gonna understand if this increase for that happen for RMFA. Because RMFA, then they give grants or allocations to councils. In fact, some councils, they only follow the receipt per year from RMFA, where then they use for maintaining roads. So then get justifiable means as to how then they use the money. But for NPRA, when I just regulatory body, yes, it's fine. They need to get money because they need to get money from consolidated fund. But I think so that the usage of farm again for really be serious, and that's why I call on all of us. It's not just about opposition MPs. It's about all of we then at the civil space like journalists and even civil society and even ordinary Salonians. We need for to ask some of these questions as to how government they use certain revenues we then they levy on we for pay.
But government they say most of them development programs them now from domestic revenue. Institution and the raise to NRA.
Then again, Khadija, may you know very much and again questionable. We domestic budget alone. We use over 60% for just service debt. For just service debt no more. So wait till the left. If you look at what government they use for salary, you look at so wait till left for development, okay, we reach up to 10%. Now make it in 2025 fiscal year. Almost all councils, no council no receive money for the fiscal year 2025.
Then what is government?
So that tells you this again brings to question or doubt the claim saying they use the money there for development. Take a look at fish salon. The fish salon we all know say very much say yes, and government supposed to fund them. But as I tell you, no fund no go to any deal we come up from government of Sierra Leone. The project where they support another FSRP and other sub donor funded project, and they fund feeds alone another project.
But honorable, you know, say if money them they come out from citizens, them taxpayers' money, then the government not they do waiting and they take the money them from the citizens. Una self get a responsibility.
And that is what we have been asking.
Government until una boycott.
We still
other MPs them, for example, you they see the Nigerian parliament, they're in the world shouting, talking about their issues there continuously until the right thing be done.
Khadija, if you follow parliament, Tango used to be a parliamentary reporter. When it comes to articulating issues, when it comes to winning debates, we have been consistent and we won't be vociferous to make sure we raise issues where they affect the other man and woman.
So why not is they not louder enough?
They're louder enough, but you know very much well say largely a lot of players when supposed for amplify to voices have been relatively compromised. So news not they go out where supposed for go, but day in day out we raise the issues.
Everybody in the states don't be compromised.
Well, that is something to be proved. But me, you know very much well say in an institution where they say he who pays the piper, who pays the piper across the tune. When government begin to pay journalists, begin to give their allocations to each institution like SLAJ, they organize annual dinners for them. Yes, now just that yes, we are still remain independent, way for which I am for comment una, but impairment not done happen. How now for become then they get no the question because it take as the more you talk, if you are part of SLAJ, you go be limited small because it take as the allocation will come again to you.
I mean, a part of SLAJ.
That's what I'm saying.
Dictate to me with
that make I recommend una. I make I say that some of una the independent still remain, and a large amount of media members still remain for being independent. But that in itself leads to an impairment to the kind of way where they're supposed to become. Because I did not be in the space. Government create the platform so that private institution will come and support SLAJ, give them whatever resource they want. For just make sure that you nurture and promote the independence.
How you go explain the indictments on SLAJ, for example, because of the subvention where governments they give them and the media cocktail where the office of the president can organize every year? How you go use that as a yardstick say they compromise the work of the journalist?
Well, as I say, I think I qualify. In the midst of all that, I just say that a trigger, now a factor which lead to impairment of independence. Even though with all that, you have been fantastic. Still get journalists them. We're still the old government accounted. That's what I'm saying.
SLAJ not just this umbrella body where individual members
that money they can't do now. That money they can't do now because the government they still pay journalists them.
How will that compromise the work of the journalists?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not
even kind of the media.
The journalists still remain independent. I think say when all are members of SLAJ. But that don't mean to say that allocation where they can't now get for reflector or now individually. Because they are not being paid salaries, whether they give now for just run their office as they say. It means that whether in the executive, something I go with and call Andy. But what I have to say is we all get role for play. As a parliament, we have been making sure that in our debates we amplify and stress. Sometimes we even move motions. We don't file motion, we don't file information when they invite ministers where the parliament not by the grant. And marking the business committee. We are not chairmen of business committee. Now leader of government business, now they determine what they can order paper. So we are limited as to how you determine what you can order paper. The best platform you get to make sure say you talk at the well, and if possible, for not just continue to amplify the voices, we don't introduce monthly press conferences.
They take serious.
Well, I go say so it's not about taking us seriously as I say.
If una they say for bringing ministers,
yes,
una get doubt on for can explain on certain things. They know they do them. The business committee supposed to do them. No, they do them. They make her ask. Then really they take una as the main opposition serious.
Well, that they tell you about how much the opposition don't become constrained as a result of government intervention. As I say, ideally, when you look at the standing orders, it's very clear. By right, we're supposed to ask questions to ministers when you're supposed to come for cancer. But if I say they only tell you minister in the Guyana, you get to be at the BS of the speaker. Like what happened with the Minister of Education. Because maybe they want to go talk about the picking and way they don't pull whatsoever. They invite and even without moving a motion from Parliament. Leaving the various unanswered, unadhered requests them way on the don't move countlessly from where we invite the Minister of Education for can't provide answers. Even when government count bosses. When they buy the price, when they make a price come up from 5 millions to 10 millions, when our government, we're supposed to increase the cost per fare, when they in turn increase the cost, those are all issues we raise.
So then
whereas loss.
Serious?
Well, to me, that helps them and they take it very seriously.
Because I ask this question repeatedly.
Yes.
We don't they see senior government official then they call una say una not a serious party. And looking at una in a parliament, some of these issues where they reveal today to the public, it clearly shows say they're not they treat una seriously.
Khadija, as I tell you about government, any serious government, if you know say na two layers na they form government, the opposition and the government. The opposition normally don't treat them because of their number. But we have a government where they don't say, no, we have the number, we can bulldoze, we have the police, we get the state securities, we can do anything. We now don't follow parliament. When it comes to debate, when it comes to being firm in terms of debates, no debate on the way ever lost on that parliament today. And no issue no day where we don't raise, where we left for the public can pick up. But we get and we not just listen. You can raise the issues and then they have something else we they don't know for do. And that they tell you say this like government will not just become a listing government. Because for a listing government, sometimes the best they come up from your opposition. Criticism don't mean to say you are doing the wrong thing. Sometimes you close the door to the common and say, you know they will see them because behind you back, you know they will watch behind you back. But whether they say another opposition, someone they tell they call them, watch first and see whether indeed dirty then they back. Before you take a political consideration of a particular view. So what we are saying is, we have a government we don't think say opposition views their matter, opposition voices matter, journalist voices matter, civil society voices matter. That's why when you are a civil society, you choose for being independent. When you are a journalist, you choose for being independent. In this government, they will tag you to be APC. Well, now they don't attack una because just because una choose for be independent, una choose for be neutral, then they claim una for be APC. The same they happen for civil society. Anyone wait man for me upright. Why Masala Samba suddenly become APC? When are the same person where in the first round of 2018 election, where first call say the people that don't speak, they forgive power to SPP. Now all of a sudden, because it stands for values, because it stands for independent and credible election, it don't suddenly become an agent of APC. That's the government we are talking about. Now government will not just value the views of the people who they represent. When you get an altered view, you are APC and you are an enemy of the state.
How you go describe this kind of state?
Well, now state where no they listen and where no they govern for the people. And I state where I think to say, as Sierra Leoneans, we have a role for make sure say we continue for increase in civic responsibility for all the government to account. When you look at Nigeria, you look at other side, not to opposition party they go protest. No, you know very well the end starts and everything. Not to MP then go protest. Now ordinary men and women now they go on the street and go demand accountability from the government. But we have citizens because of how much they don't consecrate the space. When person come up for protest and killing, they kill you. Those are all changes that happen at the country where we need to understand.
And governance not supposed to be the winner takes it all.
Yeah.
As an opposition, UNASEF gets a very big role for play for let the states continue for function. 2018 to now 2026, are you saying the opposition voice not being heard in any decision where government on they take as a government where UNASEF for participate?
Well, as I say, I'm not going to generalize and say where's the not going to be hard. Because the fact that we all they ratify agreements, we ratify loans, we ratify bills together, we all they vote in favor of them, we voice then the part of because we are taking part. I'm coming, I come, yes.
If una get side away, una they agree.
Of course, because otherwise we don't pass any law. We don't pass a lot of laws.
Issues them una can disagree on.
Yeah.
Are there not of public interest? Where una can get side, where una they agree, una get side, where una not they agree on.
Yeah. Well, normally na issues we get for the public interest. Like for instance, when we talk about the exercise tax where they mean to this, where they mean put on rice, we all see what will happen at the well. The opposition strongly say this particular amount here, so they need for suspend them. Rice na basic commodity, na political commodity. When you put tax on them, invariably you go increase the tax on the price per bag. So we question them. On the first year, it was passed, then we lose with them pass them. Because when they come to terms to the realities, come to 2025, they make sure they suspend the implementation. Well, to me, that was a flower we'll give them. But on many issues, when they consider like this issue of this excise tax, these are issues we raised. We moved for it to have been given a second look, so that at least it will left and try a day. So that you know we get a situation like the station who we don't resort to sell to now. So in most cases, as I say, I know what generally say they have not been listening to us or we have not been making impact. So impact is great. Because otherwise, not for don't pass any bill, we not for don't pass any agreement, we not for don't do nothing. So many things that we don't do together. But when it comes to some contentious issue, most of the time when they make a view, they will see it to be political. Instead of seeing it to be a sharing and view, wait for the come up for because we are the voices of the masses. Most of they talk not of just views the way they represent we, but now the views them of the people and where some are even except members, we're not able to talk. As we speak today, a cost of a bag of cement in McKinney is 200,000. What will happen at Kalao? It's something go there 220 to this. This not let's say a person not go to have well and talk about them. Now we go talk about them because we don't foresee them. Are they for don't imagine if we don't listen to we. We're not reach to this level we should today. At least government gets outside of don't play with figures. So make sure say even if price increase, but if we increase like Alabia increase in price, we not affect the general livelihood of the citizens.
You say they don't really listen to Ola, but the government is seen as disruptive opposition.
Well, that tells you I don't give basis. As to how this government they look at anybody we are critical of what they think, because we are not when they criticize them, now they critique them we role. I don't think if I say introduction of 5 lios per liter, it make me for be destructive. Guys, I don't even cascade the example as to how this government they treat people with dissenting views beyond just parliament, even at the civil space. Even the CCSL, we don't stand the test of time. We contribute so much for make sure say peace can at this country. Just when they make this view, they have been labeled as APC. They say not get no many person at the executive. They have been labeled. So to me, when they talk about the issue of listening, it's not just about. Let's just look at government. Government get response, but make sure say then treat Sierra Leoneans. The fact that they don't declare you as president, you are no longer president of a party. You are president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Wait for govern for every Sierra Leoneans. Sometimes the best not they come up from you cabal. So because someone one position, the best now go from them. They go to buy you know the best, you know the this. Sometimes listen to the opposition. That's like all other presidents don't they do. I imagine the days of Kaba. When APC been just about 27 MPs, the number been so small. But when stand up they done at parliament, even though the SFP been gets absolute majority, for past anything they get almost 2/3 or more than 2/3. Chijan Kaba go call the leader of government business, then they say stand down the house. Then go stand down the house, then go to state house, then go consult, then go deep in consultation. That is respect for rule of law. That is respect for democracy, and that is what is lacking. Democracy not for thrive.
I don't go see president.
Not to get stand up in the parliament, not to get stand up in the parliament, we for respect the views of the minority.
Don't go meet with President B. I don't get conversation.
We don't get conversations, but as I tell you, I cascade the conversation as to when there is an issue of standoff. We really get for do with the welfare of the people. Sometimes the best they come up from the opposition, I don't tell you this. Any list in government, you know, will describe the opposition and say because of the what and call na anti-people. Sometimes are the best for the people.
They don't even call on
listen to me.
Party.
Well, that the highest injustice on the side of PPRC, because we expect say when the person they will call we as terrorists. Just for person we talks the 10th election, you go find them that in itself creates the kind of biasness with PPRC similarly they exhibit.
All right, continue for the with Honorable Aaron. Welcome to the shop. We continue for talk about the position paper we then pulled for now. I believe say the search and nomination committee. Now one way very important and it is part of the things them we only recommend to Parliament.
Definitely. I mean, we all know the tension working day for the appointment of electoral commissioners. For the past maybe 5 or 6 sessions, they not ever agree. The parties they working in a parliament, they ask for them to agree completely on a certain person. And we'll get people that will get integrity in the nation. So therefore, the Search and Nominations Committee is a very, very, very good initiative. It's a novelty where we think say if for happen not just the manner in which them for do will bring recommendations, like I've been say. We say instead of the president just look and appoint somebody, for example, from the interreligious community. Let the president ask a body where we don't recommend, the interreligious council, say, Una nominate for me somebody for serve in the Search and Nominations Committee. That they bring trust. You do the same thing to the bar association, that they bring trust. You bring the same thing to the sludge, that they bring trust. So nobody will feel say the president just nominates people who are of your interest or even maybe affiliated to a political party. So then things that they help for neutralize tension in the nation.
Back to this issue, it gets for do with the percentage way for make somebody be a president, the 50+1 and the 20 from each from the district where una no agree with the 20 parts, but agree about the 50+1. What's in our interest? Why una no think say that 20 day if you really want to become president in terms of having somebody win a figure of national unity? Why when I think say that 20 parts of them not appropriate and not possible let somebody get them?
First of all, the background of that clause they want to amend and the 55% threshold for let somebody win first round on an election as alone. So there were challenges. Otherwise, for just when I left the 55. But there were challenges for let somebody get 55 with we ethnicity, diversity and Sierra Leone. It's difficult. Then just the 55 not to give somebody a national character. So we feel say that good initiative back for kind of the second tier of that system because the first aspect is the majority. Would I get the majority now they win 50+1, but not just majority, but majority in the sense of if forget up to half +1. And then so that one day now, that 20%, they close to the Nigerian, I think their own bar look higher. But when you look at Nigeria, the ethnicity, even though they get 400 tribes, but they get 3 major tribes that we consolidate the Yoruba, the Igbo, and the Hausa. So the other one, almost of the affiliate to one or the other of them 3 then they. But for winner, with the 16, it can be diverse sometimes, this country. So we think say 20%. Okay, that may in fact mean for better. But in 2/3 of the districts of this country, straight away as you do that day, the major political party them na mathematics then they go into. In 1996, how we election is all Bintalek. In 2002, how is the election is all Bintalek. In 2007, and straight away they know straight away say it's a fight between the APC and the SLPP. So it means first of all they exclude all and small party them. So what's wrong if we reduce the percentage to 5? First of all, you get 50%+1. Second, you make sure say you get at least 5% now, half of the districts of this country. I think we bring the bar the lowest because we want to cater for the independent candidates as well. Naturally, we go win, go get past 5%, now plenty districts. But let the bar remain under so that we not go discriminate anybody. We get all man opportunity.
So all them things they all not recommend, especially crucial one day we get for do with the way how the president they appoints the chief electoral commissioner, the systems of election what the country for use, and other important one day. Una go feel disappointed if the amendment happen and una not see some of the recommendation they have Bishop.
Definitely. We will be very, very disappointed. But I want to make you know, say the CCS held on there since 1924, and we get a lot of resilience in we advocacy business. We will continue. But we are very hopeful that parliaments will look at recommendations them, and then go look at them with the kind of they pray for. We also they pray, and we they follow up as well. And that if they need for we go explain certain one because that's what they expect. We know they expect parliament for when they look certain position and say, okay, we can't explain what do you mean by this? Ask quick questions, look at pros and cons. That's what they expect. And if that they happen, we believe say we must reach at a point. And if we do not get 100% of what you say, but we go reach at a point and look other positions and we own and see how we go. But because the most important thing is we want for advocate for we get laws them where they bring justice in the nation, not for today, not for any political party. We will not partisan, but at the same time we're not apolitical.
All right, so we'll come back to you. Let me just look at one of the headline topic them this morning as we've been telling we would expect to get the Minister of Foreign Affairs on the phone for let we get an update regarding the summit where we see this BNTM, the tripartite summit between Salon, Guinea, and Liberia. We just want to know the outcome of and how it will reflect to peace na the border area them. We get on the phone the Minister of Foreign Affairs, we na Timothy Kaba, for let we get an update on that. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show, Mr. Minister.
Good morning, Madam Mabel, and good morning to the listeners.
All right, before we quickly talk about the outcome, let me just get a background to that particular tripartite summit today. Now, waiting be inform.
Well, we all see how in the past couple of weeks with all that intensive infractions, when we shared borders with Guinea and as well as Guinea and Liberia. So the sub-region became really fraught with, then border complaints, border threats, insecurity here and there. So the wisdom of the three leaders, following made them meet and discuss the issues, given the fact that the sub-region is, gets a long history of coexistence, peaceful coexistence, and the people that really live in them three countries here get cultural ties and we all get quite a lot in common. And so at a time when the world is a very difficult place to be, the leaders in the wisdom thinks we not for come and open another frontier of insecurity in our backyard. So that may make them call this tripartite summit under the aegis of the Mano River Union, a union where the predecessors of the leaders have been formed even before ECOWAS for economic integration. But now that economic integration is inseparable from with security and political affairs. So we use the Mano River Union for call the three leaders them who the countries that be affected by this particular border insecurity for Conakry. The reason why Conakry, because Guinea, they hold the presidency of the Mano River Union at the moment, and so the Guinea convened the meeting, and so that make the leaders that meet Conakry for reassure, reaffirm, recommit themselves to the peace, stability, and development of the Mano River Union.
In terms of the discussions where the leaders been get, a lot of concerns don't they come from the public. We see recently the issue will be happening between Guinea and Salon, again Liberia and Guinea, and a lot of fingers don't be pointed. Say Guinea seem for the give problems where it come to border security, and the neighboring countries them always they point at Guinea where issues can arise. During the discussions, what will be most paramount among the head of states regarding security in the border areas?
Well, obviously, when you only get dispute with your neighbor. Then can say, wise people then can say between the stimulus and the response, there's always a space, and that space get the powerful who choose what you want to do. And here, the leaders then choose peace, security, stability over, the reaction and the stimulus with these particular border issues and they generate. And yes, Sierra Leone also, like in Yenga, we feel we have been invaded, we've been disturbed, we've been attacked when it comes to Yenga. It's our territory. Liberia can say of the same, but I think, like I say, for example, we only get two neighbors. We have Guinea and Liberia, and so no matter what, me, you to King Khan we go, but these countries will always remain. And these imaginary lines where, some people who sat some 300 years ago in some far end European countries and devised their lines here, they are no longer here. So we are going to live and exist with these imaginary lines. And so the issues are always going to be, but they use the Mano River Union medium as we don't begin, and this union was in little comatose for a couple of years now. Of course, we know say Guinea will try for transition from a military rule to a constitutional order. So this one don't present an opportunity now. The leaders they meet. The highlight of the conversation was, look, we have much to offer to our people in terms of development, not for use of resources and for come begin bicker and fight over pieces of land where the same people they exist now, both sides of the national, of the geographical divide. And so why we for begin bicker and fight over them piece of land. So let's convert this energy into development. We embark on, transnational transformative project that will benefit the people that the shared border of them, and also for intensify and deepen security and intelligence cooperation, so that this soldier man and the security people there, and the countries then would collaborate very well. Not forget, just on top of the Sahel, we get serious insecurity, violent extremism, and terrorism, and all of those activities that happen under. We are a seeming oasis of peace, and until we work together, follow we fence off the threats we're going to come up from the Sahel to we in west coastal part. I think it's just right that the leaders out of this wisdom for saying no, let's stop this, let's find a way to resolve these issues, let's develop these places, and let's also ensure that we get deep in cooperation and collaboration in intelligence and security management.
Mr. Minister, not all today then communicate there, so don't begin from the term of the previous leaders them na both countries, Guinea and Sierra Leone. But adherence don't be a problem. In this recent communique, where the three leaders them na the tripartite summit don't sign, how unable for emphasize on the issue of adherence? Let it not be say after few months again, we really say this country don't go put soldier man them na this border area, or this country don't arrest in company their own soldier man them and hold them to custody, like waiting be happen recently, we make you begin for go Guinea, go all negotiation again, and bring the Sierra Leone soldier man them where the Guinean soldier man them they arrest.
You've also understand the time. Right now, all over the world is in a state of flux. International law is undermined, international customary law, international humanitarian law. People don't flagrantly they abuse the law and they. So the world order is shaking. The world order is in a dynamic, seismic, and so we get to understand the time of the day and the pressures where they right now in the world, whether it's political, security, economic, they are all very much reminiscent of a Cold War. And under the kind of circumstances, the people have to be very much strategic. People have to have a sense of patience and understanding. People get to be, very much careful and emotionally intelligent for safe situations. And I think what the leaders can do in this case was very right. But because anybody will begin conflict now that is very small region or any small region of the world, your conflict is not going to have the attention that it may deserve because of other major conflict in the world. So I think for pacify the impasse that I make the leaders they meet. For example, a throng of Guinean members of the Guinean Armed Forces and their equipment and don't mobilize for kind of the Liberian border. That by itself was insecurity because the sight of it, they also bring to memory the dark days of the civil conflict. And so for this action was not only curative, but it was also preventive. And so when we go to the outcome, we see immediately a press that came from the armed forces or the Guinea Armed Forces, where they said they withdraw them, focus them from the border. And indeed, when we come up on Conakry before I fly off last night, we saw military vehicles going back to Conakry, and for me that is a commitment. And there's no reason why anybody for causing security in this sub-region right now. But also it gave an opportunity for maybe the security forces then say, look, let's have now a deep in cooperation. Let's be speaking. Guinea somehow was not, Guinea was in a military government for the past 4 years, which means institutions were working under decree, not by constitutional order. So engagement been very difficult. But now the institutions are back up and running. I am very sure as a country that has learned its own, those institutions will be able to work independently and for respect international law and for respect, the union in prescribed regulations and political, directions. And so I am very confident. Like I say, issues are always going to persist between neighbors. As long as you are neighbors, issues are going to come up. But the ability for the leaders to instruct how to resolve them probably not important. And this is exactly the outcome of the summit.
Mr. Minister, you said the removal of the Guinean army na the border area then before you fly off Guinea, na a commitment for sure say both countries then go adhere to waiting the inside the communique. Does this mean any issues not go arise again from them border area? They are based on waiting una talk, waiting una hear all una leaders then talk na the tripartite summit?
Well, look, like I said, we get forever exist with Guinea and Liberia. Liberia and Guinea will ever exist. Liberia, Guinea and Cote d'Ivoire will ever exist. Problems now the human being are part of the human existence. Of course, there will always be problem because we exist. We get differences. This generation can pass, other generation can. But the important thing is there's always a meeting point. The contiguous nature of the borders, the cultural ties, the historic ties, even for them border, they didn't want people them roam around this Mano River Union and all of that. So I think I cannot tell you there will not be conflict, but now through the rejuvenated Mano River Union and the wisdom of the leaders, I think we will try very hard for prevent instability, for restore peace, order, and development for the development of people, not least in a world that is in trouble.
Mr. Minister, now that una don't get the conversation there, everybody don't agree for adhere to waiting on a sign up to. People then be there will be affected na the younger issue and we don't become displaced. How una go work with other line ministry for reintegrate them people there back na the various communities the way them be don't run away come out for and they now inside Pangoma?
Well, that's the government as a whole gets mechanism for dealing with that as a internal affairs issue where, of course, it relates to all the work, but I think government is seized of that in general.
So in this case, when a lot of people...
I therefore beg, I did board a flight now. I'm on my way out to someone.
All right, quickly as you left we now, Mr. Minister, waiting they bind this particular commitments where then 3 leaders here don't go say for this time they want peace and they don't go sign to anything they where they bind that agreement there for let it not go be like a gentleman's agreement and at the end of the day we begin hearing other moves they happen again at the border.
The leaders have signed to the agreement. The authority of the leaders by themselves is a binding authority. Anything will happen, that will be an ungentleman arrangement. So I think the leader in the wisdom, the respect and authority would then carry, this is supposed to be a binding one in that context, and that the leaders don't make mistake. They are infallible in terms of this, or the way they lend their authority to this kind of thing that has been signed. And we pray and hope that people, we the citizens of them countries here, that will create situation where we could be very unfortunate for make this agreement fail.
All right, many thanks. Will you join with this morning? That's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Haji Timothy Kaba been the talk to we Osai be the talk about the tripartite summit where we see happen between Salon, Guinea and Liberia, and according to Ram, the leaders them na then 3 countries here don't sign an agreement for maintain the peace at the border areas them. Well, we dey continue with the breakfast show and we see when I don't send message them na the different platform them Osai on the watch with this morning regarding the topic that we discussed this morning. We dey quickly look at few of our messages them and come to the studio guest them before we wrap up this edition of the breakfast show.
All right, quick one from YouTube. The one way I go read, they say, didn't you learn when the peer system that was imposed were not other parties except the APC party members and no independent candidate is in parliament?
All right, so we look at more messages we don't come inside the program this morning. This one from Ibrahim Stephen Koroma. It says, Honorable Aaron, while boycotting the parliamentary proceeding or sitting, be also Section 77(1)(c) of the 1991 Constitution, which says under the 1991 Constitution, members of Parliament can lose their seats if they are absent from sittings of Parliament for a period of 45 days, sitting days during any session without permission of the Speaker. Since you guys boycotted, have you started counting how many sittings you have been absent without taking permission from the Speaker of Parliament? It says APC needs to respect the Constitution.
This other one, they say the government of Sierra Leone should stand firm about the younger, don't find excuses. You know that Guinea have a barracks.
This one again on Yenga, Mohammed Boyma say, tripartite again, unateka mgo parliament to.
About Cabo, they say Guinea should be taken to the International Court of Justice.
This one from Koroma Amin, they said they did not say they will withdraw their troops. They said they will withdraw some of their troops, and it gets to do again with the issue of Yenga.
All right, so from the messages, then quickly we come back to the studio for wrap up with the studio guest. Then maybe you get message around.
Yeah, this one from Ibrahim Keketoma Kroma, it said the border issue will repeat itself again in the coming years if we continue to make this easy. All right, so from the message, and I think we will just come over to the guest them, and I will start with Bishop. At this stage, I remember we begin get a conversation. We'll be asked, although you say as a council, I not got a position yet regarding the APC boycotting sittings of all them official positions. Them so I not get official position yet because we still a talk. But at this stage, what thing you will say to both parties in terms of how them for manage the situation for let the interest of the people no can be at stake at the end of the day?
Well, first of all, personally, I feel say the opposition not completely boycott governance because at the moment you get MP in a station arena work in the work. So for me, as far as me concerned, and that's want for see, just get for dinner the well of parliament for make contribution to governance. But I mean, we want for encourage the Speaker of Parliament to get a major role in this. I mean, the chamber of the Speaker is a very important place where a lot of agreements then can be made. I think say it's supposed for call on the in counterparts them. Let them sit down and look at the issue and find way for meet and agree. And like when you get family, where one person feels say a vex, a common ado, definitely somebody for mediate and call and for come together. We definitely get forget we own position. But like I say, we're not in urgency. We normally left some apparatus of governance for work. But we say they no one for work or then they work by they can come for stand up as moral guarantors. But on the position, somebody will talk about, say, independent candidates not there. Now this current PR system. I mean, just for support with position. Very good now, they say independent candidates can day for presidential election. We're very good. Plenty talk about that, but a very good thing for let you be president, even as independent candidate. So, I mean, that's also now like first, I mean, it gets a lot of similarities with first past the post because it means not to party no more. go supply person for become president. Somebody with your integrity, kintima, and then aspire. So that independency. So we feel say independent candidates will be promoted with first past the post.
All right, many thanks for joining me this morning, Honorable. I see somebody they send message, the caution on the MPDM where they out of parliament currently regarding the constitution. On a take note of that particular clause that we read.
Well, then na your opinion. I just think to say nothing not the way more important than because the issue they are virtually way with the really boycott for nice the way jamming with also the ordinary man and woman. Democracy in a way world don't pay so much price for us a nation. Don't go to war and everything. Today we have a democracy. And as an opposition, we get the right for us to make sure say we protect that democracy at all times. If we choose for make sure say we no resort to an issue where go lead to war in this country because of political outcomes or whatsoever, we choose for dialogue. That was for a good conscience. That tells you that we prioritize the interests of the well-being of Sierra Leoneans than just self. And as a result, if an agreement was reached, I think say it is but fitting that respect is given to it. We are very much aware of Section 77. We're also aware of SO 772C of the Constitution, of the standing orders. You're also very much clear. We are lawmakers, there is no need for inform we. We are aware, but we act as we speak. It is parliamentary. Boycott is global. It's something that's the way they happen almost any other side, which we call you boycott as a constitutional protest. And then one of the ways then before we take on to the streets or we go fat person, then go beat you aside in a beat you or whatsoever, we choose for take this as a first approach and we'll get other actions we of course will also follow. But I don't think to say we're not mindful of all of this.
So regarding the issue of you challenging the 30% losses, we the Minister of Trade say government the loss on the fuel price.
Yes.
Waiting you go say to the ministry itself and government in general regarding how them for the handle then kind issue so the people them no go be the one them for pay outside governments for don't cushion.
Okay, so as I say, just the cabin begin. I want for you again tell the Minister of Trade. For say in assertion say government they lost 30% of government revenue unproven and it not getting able assert based on the president's pricing formula except if you publish the pricing formula today we show some reduction. But as per the present pricing formula with day in effect, it shows say government they don't increase in the revenue generation by even 33%. And I don't adduce the reasons. I don't talk see just in the last pricing formula of January, it shows the government nobody take money for what they call this pricing correction levy. Now be zero. Just now as we speak, government don't increase them. The government don't introduce something when at 2.08. I also tell you see, as of January of this year, government may just they get 2.64 on IDF when at the infrastructure development fund, and now they don't propose in the being get 3.44. And of course, the excise tax when have been 2.8 as of last December, now at $5, 5 million, sorry. And of course, that's about even the petroleum fund and the road user. We add all of that one day, it show an increase from the January pricing formula from 8.74 to 11.62. We should see government they get from just the price per liter. Government they get 8.74 as of January. Now government they get 11.62 leons. We show an increase in government revenue. Where if you work in percentage, contrary to what the minister say, where then say then they lost 30%, the record they should say then they don't increase the revenue by at least 33%. What did them for do? I think to say at this particular point in time very much important because fear not know whether an APC not whether an SLP. So we're not the car for just because we want for criticizing, but we the car because we want for call their attention to think the way any government can do, think the way Ghana don't do, think the way Liberia don't do, think the way Guinea don't do, and all that country don't because we all agree say government need for raise money. So I know we can't talk here, say therefore totally eliminate the collection of revenue from excise tax. But what we are proposing, as of January of 2026, what them they collect from, they collect nothing from the price collection levy, from the price correction levy, where they call say, may they still go back to that January when at 0. It means that alone, then go save two loans. We mean say, if not been 32 now, then they sell fuel, they go for straight first to 31st. Then also, with the call say, we also look at the IBF, now been 2.64. We then reduce them, we then 3.44. We then reduce now one day to at least high been the way now 2.6. We go mean say government go still make money. With all those reduction, then go able make sure say the increased price of fuel even below 30 rather than the 32 way so now. Government get window. Many look within and restructure the present pricing formula, just like how the OMCs they don't do, they don't maintain them 5.22 over time. I think the government at this point in time, therefore in turn, you make sure say they create savings or create relief for the people rather than shifting all the burden or allowing the people to take all the bullets as a result of the disruption in the Middle East.
All right, many thanks. Well, I had this edition of the Breakfast Show go left on and one for so many thanks on always send on a message them. This morning at the program, we've been talking to Bishop Magnus Pendu. We can tell with CCSL their own position regarding the constitutional amendments where they go on. We also been talking to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. We tell we about the tripartite summit we Salon Guinea and Liberia been go signed to inside this week, and also we talked to Honorable Aaron Aruna Kuruma. We can talk about concern where it gets regarding statements where the minister make na Truth FM. Also I been talk about 30% losses where say governments they make on the issue it gets for do with fuel, but according to that particular percentage the way the minister give not they exist based on the present formula we analyzed to honor. Now this edition of the Breakfast Show go left for now. Many thanks to the production team. Until we meet again, Mabel Kabade, get a good day and goodbye.
All right, Mina Khadija Bango, say continue for Watch Liberty TV throughout the day as we get very interesting content where would they bring cancer. Goodbye.
Building tomorrow today with Rightmove. Looking for quality, reliability, and innovation in your next big build? Choose Rightmove Engineering and Construction, Sierra Leone's trusted name in transforming ideas into enduring structures. We don't just build projects, we craft landmarks that stand the test of time. From state-of-the-art offices and modern homes to fuel stations, water systems, and infrastructure, our team delivers precision, passion, and perfection. At Rightmove, we are not following industry standards, we are setting them. Through cutting-edge technology, uncompromising safety, and sustainable solutions, we are building a brighter, stronger, and safer Sierra Leone. Visit us at 54 Campbell Street, Freetown, or call 078399475 or 077504338. Rightmove Engineering and Construction. Building quality, building trust, building the future.
It's Labor Day. After all the grind, stress, and queries at the office, it's time to ease your brain, laugh out loud, and feel like the CEO. Laugh and jam with Kido and my hustle will make sense on Labor Day, Friday, May 1st, 2026. Venue, prestigious Pintumani Hotel, 7 p.m. Ticket prices, Kido, 500 millions. Answer, 1,000 millions. I mean, table for 4, 10,000 millions. Adil, table for 8, 20,000 millions. You don't buy yourself plenty. Now come and laugh. No excuse. Media partner, Liberty Online TV, and cooked by Eminence Africa.
I say, it don't make sense. I don't make sense.
Wise men bank with UBA.
Wise women too with UBA.
School Pupils in Sierra Leone, do you have a creative writing skills? Would you love to win a brand new laptop and a scholarship grant worth up to 50,000 new leones? Then this is your moment. The UBA Foundation, with support from UBA Sierra Leone in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education, is proudly launching the 5th edition of the 2025-2026 UBA National Essay Competition, as the UBA Sierra Leone has teamed up with the Institute for Legal Research and Advocacy for Justice, ILRAJ, to make it bigger and better. Are you a senior secondary school pupil anywhere in Sierra Leone? Then get ready to showcase your ideas. Write a handwritten essay of not more than 500 words on the topic gender-based violence in schools, causes, consequences, and solutions. And yes, the rewards are exciting. First prize, a brand new laptop plus a 50,000 new leones scholarship grant. Second prize, 30,000 new leones. And third prize, 20,000 new leones. Remember, your essay must be handwritten, not typed. Upon submission, please include your full name, passport photograph, your age, town and district, school name, and of course, the name and phone number of your parent, guardian, or teacher. Submit your essay at any UBA branch, MBSSE regional office nationwide, or the ILRAJ office, or send us a scanned copy to cfcsierra-leone@ubagroup.com. For more information, please call us on 078 200 200 or 099 22 11 22. Deadline for submission, April 30th, 2026. So, sharpen your pen, share your ideas, and be the voice for change. Visual impaired students are also encouraged to apply. The UBA Foundation National Essay Competition, unlocking young talent and shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Write it, submit it, win it.
You are watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.